Sing me a song of a lass that is gone.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylee and I am obsessed with Outlander. So today's video is all about chapter 21 of the amazing book, Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone, written by Diana Gabaldon. This is a series playlist video, so if you have not read up to chapter 21, I would highly recommend either going back to the start of this playlist, or if you're not really into spoilers and you don't want to know what is happening in each chapter, then probably click away from this entire video series because it is full of spoilers and full of details on about what happens and what I want to talk about from each chapter in this book. So chapter 21 was a very short chapter and it was titled Lighting a Fuse. This chapter is told from the perspective of Bree as she is with Jamie and they have gone off on the search for gunpowder. Now this is a lovely chapter in aspects of you get to see that Bree and Jamie are just living their everyday life. They're going off, they're buying things that are needed and things like that, but it is such a short chapter. But I loved it. I really did. It's just nice to see them two characters connecting and doing general day-to-day activities, if that makes sense. So they wander off, well, not wander off, they go off on their horse and cart to go and purchase gunpowder. Now, when they get to the, I don't know actually how far they travelled to get this gunpowder, but I would say it was a little bit considering, you know, well, actually, that they really didn't say. That's annoying me. I wonder how close this actual purchasement part is. That's something I want to look up. Or if you know, could you please put it in the comments? How far away was the place that they went for gunpowder? That's going to irk me now. What a fool I am. I should have looked that up. Anyway, they rock up to this establishment and it is the home or the business of the Patton family. Now, when they first roll up, they see John Patton, who is sort of just sitting around talking with some other gentlemen, and then Bree goes off to talk to Mrs. Patton. Now, it seems that she is actually the boss, which I love. And they strike up a conversation about gunpowder and what it's needed and, you know, what sort of gunpowder would Bree like to purchase, things like that. And the conversation takes a bit of a wild twist. Now, it came up in their conversation that Mrs. Patton knew who Jamie was, but not as Jamie, you know, of Fraser's Ridge. She knew Jamie as Red Jamie from back in the day. Now, this was really cool. I thought, now, this is nice to have a little bit, again, I keep bringing up in these chapter reviews like a throwback to earlier sort of happenings, but to know that there are still characters in this book that realize that Jamie is in fact Red Jamie and the extreme things that he went through in the past and what he has done for his people, like, it was just a nice little throw in, I thought. She actually remembered that he was Red Jamie because her uncle had in fact been with Jamie in Ardsmuir prison. Now, I found this really cool and it really did have a sort of an ice-breaking effect for the Patton family with Bree and Jamie, especially Mrs. Patton and Bree, because it did seem at first like, oh, this is going to be a rough transaction. This is going to take a few moments to sort of get through the niggledy-piggledy of, oh, you're new, what do you want gunpowder for, you know? But it really did break the ice pretty, like, easy, and it was a nice little purchasing process for Bree. That was until she went to pay. And we know that when Bree travelled back looking for Roger with the kids, she was smart enough to sew gold leaf, I'm going to say gold leaf, but like fragments of gold plate into their clothing. When she did purchase the gunpowder that she'd selected though with this, it sort of sent up a few like, no, with Jamie once he found out. But luckily enough, Jamie didn't find this out until they were leaving the Patton establishment. So they're pretty much just heading back to the Ridge and, you know, Jamie's like, well, hang on, how did you manage to pay for 20 bags of gunpowder? And she explained, well, I used the gold and it came back with me, blah, blah, blah. And Jamie most certainly was like, oh, this is not good. This is not how we should have done that. And Bree, of course, being a Fraser, was like, hang on, why? Please explain what I did wrong. And Jamie does go through the fact, well, hang on, no. People will now think that you do have a substantial amount of gold. they're going to basically come after us, or, you know, we're putting our people or our ridge, we're putting everybody in danger by paying with gold. It didn't occur to Bree that when Jamie does have gold, that he only uses it on the very, very dire emergency situations. And even when he does, it is transformed into different coins or things by sending very trusted people out into the world with them, and sort of, you know, we'll sell this, get the change in this, we'll get this, get that. And, you know, he has a very interesting system in order to transfer gold into payable cash that's not a suspected sort of like, oh, you're rich, let's go get what you've got hidden under the mattress sort of thing. Now Bree realized, of course, oh no, she has put the kids in danger by doing this, and you can tell instantly she's learned such a lesson in regards to how to spend, or, you know, how to use the gold if she needs to in situations. I love this chapter because every time they're together, it's a life lesson. And Jamie missed out on so many years of life lessons with Bree because of, obviously, you know, they weren't together. So I love when things like this happen, even though, okay, there could be some consequences to this. Somebody might find out about the gold, somebody, you know, but it also was very nice and loving because it's a life lesson that Jamie has now taught Bree. It's something that she'll undoubtedly remember, and I just love that they're getting to do that. Even at the older age, they're still getting to have those moments of life lessons, and I think that's just absolutely lovely. On the way home, they did actually have to stop overnight, so they must have been a fair decent travel distance. I should have realized that too. As I said earlier, I can't remember how far they were. But during the stay, they did decide not to light a fire. And of course, Jamie sat guard for the most part of the night. Again, another little touching thing, of course, Jamie is standing guard. He is always the protector. He is always going to look after everybody in the situation that they're in. I just love it. I mean, we all know everybody loves Jamie. We all know, I don't think there is a single Outlander fan out there that is like, oh, you know, I'm reading this book wholly and solely for this character and not Jamie. Like, everybody has a love for Jamie of some aspect, some description. And every time I see those really nice, like I said, life lessons, or the just, he's standing guard, he's protecting, he's loyal, wins me every time. If you have enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And I will see you very shortly for the next chapter review video. I hope you're all having a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Sing me a song of a lass that is gone.